Hello and welcome to the Miss Rolling In podcast. My name is Jacob Staten and we've got a bit of a different show for you today. I'm not joined by JJ, but we are going to cover off the Bournemouth away game that happened this weekend. Seeing some of the comments and some of the tweets and that flying around Twitter, kind of a split fan base. Well, that's why I say split fan base. I think everyone's kind of in agreement it's a decent point. I think a few people are a bit miffed at the kind of performance, but I think it was a fairly decent performance. I think especially the first 20 and the last 20 minutes, we were adventurous and showed a good bit of moxie. I think we are showing a bit of a tendency to fall away towards the kind of back end of the first half and start the second half, which has been ongoing for quite a while. I think maybe the Leicester game was one of the first games where we haven't shown that. That was only last week, so bit of an odd one. But it's interesting that because I do think we started the game really well against Bournemouth. It's just, when we didn't get that goal, kind of dropped off a little bit, and I think they scored what was in reality a really, really good goal. They moved the ball quickly down the line, a lot of pace. The ball into the box was perfect. I think it's Jaden Ante. His first touch was absolutely fantastic, straight into the path of his strong foot and straight past Hennessy. Hennessy possibly could have done a bit better, but it was kind of a one touch snapshot. So one touch and a snapshot. So yeah, I don't really blame him in that regard. But yeah, in general, a good performance, but there are obvious places of improvement. But I'd just like to see us I don't necessarily our heads drop after the first 20 and pick up straight back into the second half. Another really interesting point was Chris Woods on his debut, straight into the team. I hadn't realised that he'd registered in time, which was good work by the club. He didn't look that great. He was a bit probably the best way to describe it was a bit immobile for me. So whilst I think that he's going to be a really good target man, the way that Cooper plays that target man out on the left with kind of expecting him to kind of almost be a bulldozer, I'm not necessarily certain he's that target man. But although a bit ineffective against Bournemouth, he had not trained with the club. He had been chucked straight into the deep end. So hopefully, as I always say, I hope every player that pulls on a Forest shirt is going to be the next John Robertson, Stuart Pearce, whoever. But just kind of a question of his mobility in that kind of left-wing target man role. But apart from that, I don't think you can really say much more after no training and straight to the matchday squad. Somebody who's possibly a bit hard done by was Sam Surridge. He is that kind of big target. He is a bit more mobile. We all know how well he can finish if we ignore the Blackpool game. But especially after the effect he had in the Leicester game, he came on. He was kind of involved in both of the goals, particularly the first one, and obviously he snatched a late goal against his former club to get us the draw, which was amazing as well. I'd say he probably was hard done by. I think it was a bit of a risk starting Chris Wood, which the risk wouldn't have been there for Sam Surridge, so a bit hard done by. But he took his chance when he came on, and it was a really well worked goal. Morgan Gibbs-White continues to be an absolute gem. Looks like a wonderful signing. So glad that we stuck it out and persevered with signing him. A great ball in by Brennan Johnson as well, and it just on the absolute money. And it's kind of going back to that, we're kind of ending the game well as well. Never say die that we saw so much last season, which is fantastic. Ryan Yates has once again had to go off. He's clearly so important to the team. It'd be interesting to know exactly what's going on. I've heard rumours of kind of concussion and head injury, and I was a bit surprised when I saw he was back in the starting 11 on Saturday. I'm not surprised to see him going off. Can anyone else do what he does, especially in big games? He certainly seems to be our kind of modern day. Obviously, he's not on that level, but Roy Keane-esque type thing. He really, really shows up in the big games, and is proven invaluable. So it'll be interesting if we find out what's going on with him, how long term it is, how it could affect his game going onwards, and whether or not we have to think about, I don't want to say a replacement, but a temporary cover thing. I'm not necessarily certain who else could do what he does for this club. So interesting one there. And then kind of one for the future I want to think about is the midfield three that finished the game with Danilo, Freuler and Scarpa. So Danilo making his debut for Ryan Yates. He sat straight back into the defensive midfield role with Freuler moving a bit further forward. I mentioned on the last podcast I was really looking forward to seeing that, and Freuler looked like he'd been playing there all season. I suppose he does play there for Switzerland, so it was really good to see that. It's a really, really nice piece of attacking intent with those three. I think I really enjoy it when we would teams try and put those kind of players who are really good on the ball in the positions where they have to be on the ball and trust them. So it was really good to see Scarpa in centre midfield. An exciting prospect. Does it have legs outside of home games at the City Ground? I'm not necessarily certain. I want to be proven wrong. I think we need somebody a bit more disruptive, like Ryan Yates, like a Cheku Kouate. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I hope we're going on Wednesday night to the League Cup semi-final. Not necessarily certain we'll see it there. I think we could see it at Leeds at home though the following weekend. So really looking forward to seeing that. And if you have any thoughts on anything we've discussed today, give us a shout out on Twitter, on Instagram. And thank you very much for listening. You Reds.